Okay, welcome back. We're doing another video with Erik Thor, and wow, it's amazing. We're in the same clothes and everything.
I will
Okay,
agree.
yeah. Okay, so to continue, let's talk about ENFPs. We did our last video on INFPs, and now we're going to discuss ENFPs. And Erik, you were in a relationship with an ENFP. You have other experience with ENFPs? Yeah?
I do. For me, I feel the view of ENFPs that I see online doesn't actually match at all what I've been experiencing in my relationship.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
I'm dating an ENFP that's a bit different to the average ENFP, or maybe the view we have online is just not correct. Uh, I am inclined to feel the later is true. I feel a lot of ENFPs, and I've talked to a lot of ENFPs as well. Uh, they tend to match better as like the kind of investigators that are so enthusiastic to learn things, to figure things out, to be researchers. That
Mm.
what I see with them is they're really nerdy. They enjoy gathering data, reading, all things, often fiction and like science fiction and all kinds of matters of life. You know, they're not necessarily the first to pick an interest in politics or like societal matters, but definitely anything that has to do with people and emotions and learning how about different cultures and values and
Yeah.
yeah, things like that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Um, what do you think the ENFPs often mistype as ENTPs for this reason?
I think there's a big mistyping going on between ESFPs and ENFPs.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Also, ENFPs and ENFJs.
Yeah.
ENFJs very underappreciate themselves, and this is a very underappreciated type. Uh, and people forget that ENFJs are probably the least J of all judging types. Uh,
Mm,
so there's
yeah.
issues going both ways.
You know, on my page, I've noticed that of all of the intuitive types, I have the least amount of people who identify themselves as ENFJs. So
Yeah,
it could be that a lot of these they're think that they're ENFPs or that they think that they're INFJs. Because I've also heard that a lot of ENFJs think that they're introverts as well.
yeah, I am seeing something similar. I'm seeing that ENFJs are most likely to mistype as ENFPs. So I
Mm.
am seeing that divide. So when you look at ENFPs, um, yeah, there's something attractive about ENFPs that you don't see in online descriptions of ENFJs. Like with ENFPs, they create kind of like the crazy idea person who is always enthusiastic and full of opportunities and ideas that they want to see through. But often what I see with ENFJs is ENFJs are those more enterprising ENFPs.
Mm.
ENFJs are the ENFPs that, you know, have ideas they want to expand and put together and things they want to do and achieve. So when you meet the ENFPs that are a bit more project oriented and
Yeah.
have business ideas and plans and visions, often that's when I start wondering, is this really an ENFJ?
Okay. Yeah. That's interesting. Sorry. No, but I want to do it now. You've made me want to do a video on ENFJs and learn more about them because I think it's a type that I have absolutely neglected in studying. And I think ENFJs are the type that I understand the least. Um, and you know, my friend Kay has actually made me realize, like, my best friend in high school, I thought that she was an ENTJ and she was someone I admired so greatly, and she's like, after talking about her, she's like, I think she was an ENFJ, and I wonder how many others I've known in my life, because I think I'm very attracted to FE Hero. I really admire it with my FE child, and she's
Yeah. I mean,
they
ENFPs, they have FE as well. I mean, ENFPs, they have FE to the extent that they enjoy and need relationships and are very relationship oriented people. So their friendships and family is something very important to them. Uh, they are just not FE in the sense that they don't like to put a lot of energy and effort into taking care of other people, or making other people feel at home, and soothing and making other people feel welcome around them. They want people to just naturally feel that.
Why do you say that they have FE though? Because for them, FE is in their critic slots. And
Yeah,
so that's what makes them very critical towards societal expectations for them and the norms, and, you know, makes them a bit more on the rebellious side.
yeah, they are definitely on the rebellious side. I'm not disagreeing with you there. But what I am seeing is that ENFPs all tend to talk about FE as something they enjoy and need. So it seems to be that ENFPs respond very well when they can have natural FE. So when they can have like a natural connection or dialogue or harmonious relationships and connections with somebody. And they respond very much with stress if they don't have it. So if you make an ENFP feel criticized or questioned, or they will become very cold very quickly, and they will shut down their emotions very fast. So ENFPs need FE a lot,
Yeah,
but they don't naturally exhibit it or put it outwards to other people.
yeah. Um, I guess I kind of understand that they need it, but they don't really have it. They just admire it and like it. So you think that following that, the best match for an ENFP would be a high FE user?
Um, I think it definitely helps to be around people that have not necessarily first or dominant FE, but somebody that has some FE,
Okay.
to maybe, in order
Yeah.
to really give some reassurance, and to make sure that you avoid conflicts about identity and values
Hmm.
in the relationship, because that can make
Yeah.
a relationship go bad really fast for an ENFP.
What about perceiving functions? We haven't talked a lot about those in either video, and I want to hit on that. Um, high NE difficult for many types to understand?
I would say the problem that other types have with high NE users and dominant NE users
Hmm.
is that they cannot keep up with them. So when an ENFP talks, they're usually one step ahead of everyone else. Usually what I've noticed with my girlfriend is she's already thought about everything before anybody else has. So she has seen every scenario, she's run through and analyzed everything that could happen in depth. She's seen multiple different ways the situation can go. So she is always usually prepared for everything. And in
Hmm.
conversations, she is able to know what another person is going to say. So other people might feel that Annie is too far out there or too far ahead,
Yeah.
and that can be very uncomfortable.
I see that with Gary V, who's an ENFP. He interrupts people too much, and that annoys me. But what he's always doing is like, somebody will stop talking or will try to tell him something. He'll be like, stop right there. I know where you're going with this, because
Yeah,
he's like played it out for himself. It's like, no, Gary V, that's rude. But yeah, you do know.
yeah. And can you imagine how boring it is to hear somebody repeat something you already know?
Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes you don't know.
No, that's
So
true.
you should listen.
That's
Um,
true. That's true.
but they are, in that situation, they are coming to him as the expert or whatever. Um, but is that a common trend with ENFPs to cut people off?
I don't know if all ENFPs are rude,
Well, I know.
but I think there is a pattern there.
Mm.
Uh,
And they're also movement. They're fast going in their communication. Um,
They are,
yeah.
and they think faster than most people. So actually, I think quite slowly. I take time to process every thought and finish every sentence and go through every hole in a sense to make sure I don't miss anything.
I
But
think that's
ENFPs, they skim.
TI.
I do. I know.
Yeah.
There is some TI in there as well.
Well, no, for you, like being more slow, like TI is a slower function. Like TE
Yeah.
has already gathered all of the data and made up their FI mind about it, but I think TI takes longer to process. And that's why
TE,
INTPs will be like slow to respond.
yeah, what you see with the ENTJs, ESTJs, ENFPs, ESFPs, they all have a pretty fast and sometimes a bit rude communication style, in the sense
Yeah.
that they want to move forward in a discussion and they don't want to come to a decision and they want to go on to the next point.
Mm. Yeah, the movements of the conversation. Yeah, I've gotten in my conversations with ENFPs, it gets very lost. It's like every few seconds, it's like, what point were we making? I don't even know. Like, and just like, let's just move on. Like, because I don't have the SI to remind them. And it's hard keeping things on track. Yeah. So following that, who do you think would have the best communication with an ENFP?
Okay, well, I'm gonna go back to my old point, my last video, and
Yeah.
say a person that has the best communication with an ENFP is another ENFP.
I would love to watch that. I think
It
that
is
would be
fun.
amazing
It
to
is something to
witness.
watch. What I noticed is they can finish each other's sentences and kind of go like, and then there was, yeah, I know exactly. And then you can also think about this. And yeah, that's exactly it. And like they can really make plans very fast. That's something I
Mm-hmm.
noticed because they can both go through something and then make a decision. Okay, then we're doing that. And then, okay, what do we do next? And then what do we do next? And then what do we do next? And so they can kind of jump on what the other person is saying and then take to the next point.
Yeah, I think I would watch that and be like, what just happened? You guys didn't say anything.
Yeah, and if you're an ISTJ, you would listen to that and you would go like, "That's never gonna
Yeah.
happen." That's
Yeah, probably. Oh my gosh. I wish I had like the space to conduct these experiments and just watch.
yeah, because the ENFP conundrum is, like you can make all these decisions and go over all these plans, but
Mhm.
then you get to the point of should I do it then?
Yeah.
And then there's like then they become suddenly very hesitant and very unsure, and then they start doubting themselves and they're like, "But what if there's something else? What if
I,
there's something better?"
I think two ENFPs in a relationship, I don't want to call it dangerous or explosive, but that's how I see it in my mind. For me, it's just too much. Like, would you guys actually ever get anything done? Because you're just like building each other up and like, having this sort
I
of
think you
feed.
have a point there, but it's not necessarily explosive.
Okay. Well, yeah, the passion would be low. Um, but I think it's when you have like your same type, it could be a feedback loop of what you want to hear.
Yeah,
It's just my mind mirrored back to me.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
That's
same type
nice.
relationships can have a lot of mutual admiration. So it can be a lot of like, oh, that's really cool about you, and that's like really cool about you as well, like that sense.
Yeah.
That's usually there, but I think there is the bigger issue. Uh, it's well, the lack of introversion, the lack of judgment, and the lack
Mhm.
of that kind of obstacle, because it's probably the most easy relationship you can have is to date somebody who is the same type as yourself, because they'll understand you completely and there will be very few conflicts. But the issue is it becomes too easy to the point where as it progresses, there is no growth.
Mhm.
So
What
you start feeling
about
stuck with the person.
like ENFP and INFP?
Uh, So far, my experience has been that this has been kind of a difficult one, because what I notice is INFPs are one of the most introverted personality types on the spectrum. INFPs score higher on introversion than almost any type. And so what INFPs struggle with ENFPs is it becomes very difficult for them to open up and share their thoughts. And so it becomes that the INFP goes kind of inwards while the ENFP goes kind of outwards. And what the ENFP is trying to get The ENFPs are like to get other people to open up and want to get to know more about them and want to hear what they're thinking. But the INFP kind of shuts down and doesn't want to share.
Mm.
It feels pressured.
Feels pressured, yeah? Okay.
It comes down to the problem with the ENFPs needing a bit more FE reassurance.
Mm. And neither of them are able to provide that for the other.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Okay.
it's a good matchup.
Yeah, yeah. Um, what do you think are some difficulties in having a relationship with an ENFP? Some things to like watch for or to take care of?
I think one thing that comes with dating EXFPs in general is that you have to be mindful of your own needs and your own values and what you want. Because ENFPs, they can go very fast into a plan or something they want or a dream and into a decision. So you can feel kind of pressured into it or pushed into it, and you don't have time to make up your own mind about what you want for yourself. So you have to make sure that you stay mindful of your own needs and your own identity and your own values in that when you're with somebody, because ENFPs, they are very individualistic people with very
Mm.
strong values and ideas of who they are. So you have to nurture that in yourself too.
Okay, that makes sense. Um, how do you know if an ENFP likes you?
I think if an ENFP likes you, I think they are going to be a lot more understanding than what they normally are towards you.
Mm.
So if an ENFP normally is very strong in their own values and convictions and what they want, when they really like you, they will make an effort to understand, why are you like this? So why are you not on board with this idea? Or why do you not want to go with them that? Or why do you act like that? Or so
Yeah.
where yeah, with a lot of people, they would just go, this person is being rude, and this person is going against who I am and what I want. So I'm going to go the other way.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
but
think
with
that, oh,
they
go
will
ahead.
try to sit down with you. They will try to get you in your thought process.
Yeah. I think the telltale sign for if any type likes you is can, like if they're an extroverted type, um, can they let go of like FE or TE critic or NE critic for a moment and try to understand your perspective on it? And are they making an
Yeah.
effort with their like trickster function? Like, are, like with an ENFP, are they trying to understand TI with you? You know?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm noticing as well. We're, the fact that they're actually trying to see things from another person's point of view and perspective, and so it's very endearing because it's something that makes them very vulnerable. I think ENFPs are a bit afraid to know what other people are thinking about them and
Oh,
what other people feel about them, because they expect other people to not like them or to have more dark views or to
yeah,
yeah, be against
yeah.
them or dislike them. But
That's interesting. Why is that? I've noticed that with the NFPs, and I forgot about it. Um, that they often think that other people hate them.
I think maybe that is what FE critic could be, in a sense, why people would call it
Yeah,
that. The fact that
yeah.
they assume that other people dislike them or are negative towards them or dislike their style. But I think it also comes from a real experience. Growing up as an ENFP, I think you can feel like uh, teachers and parents and so have not really understood them and have not
Mm.
tried to see their perspective or point of view, and have been judging them for their decisions and actions that can to an onlooker look crazy or chaotic or out of control. Uh,
Yeah.
so I think an ENFP will not think of it themselves like that. They will think this was the most smart decision I could have made, and this was what I had to do in the situation because of my
Mm.
identity and who I am and what I want and what I want for myself. But from a parent's perspective, they can have that negative parent like judgment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That is so interesting. Yeah, they'll just go in assuming that people hate them. And I've tried to be like, I really think that they haven't thought too much about you. Like, you know, usually that's the case, like in all of the world, like they're probably not thinking about you that much. So they're not going to put the emotional effort into hating you. But that's easy for me to say because I don't have FE critics. So
Yeah. And well, I don't tend to worry a lot about what other people are thinking about me, and I never have because of that idea. Most people, I know most people don't have an opinion at all.
Yeah.
So, and if they have an opinion, it's incredibly shallow and based on maybe 3 seconds or something they heard from somebody else that has nothing to do with me. So I know that whatever they think about me, if I talk to them, they'll change their mind. They'll get past that.
Yeah. So I think, I guess with ENFPs, it's super important that you make it obvious that you do like them and that they are safe here and that you have a good opinion of them.
Yeah, and as an ENFP, if you are an ENFP watching this, I think don't think that conflict isn't salvageable or that you can't befriend somebody after things have gone bad. Often people are prepared to forgive whatever happened and to move forward with you. So don't assume that if you had bad things happen with close friends and you've lost that you can't rebuild that. I mean, even if there's tension and negative opinions about you, and even if they dislike you right now and you can feel judgment from them, you can overcome that. If you want to, you can talk to them, you can rebuild that, and you can restart, you can move forward.
That's excellent advice. Yeah, I wish I could get this one ENFP to watch this video. And it's like, no, I don't hate you. Like, our conflict really wasn't that big of a deal.
People are quite forgiving in the end.
Yeah, it's fine. It's over with. Now maybe I've heard ENFPs say that they have trouble with overthinking. Yeah. Is this a common trope for them?
Yes. But that kind of ties back to what we talked about before with ENFPs going over every single scenario in their head. And so if you're an ENFP and you're overthinking things, it's quite natural because NE spreads itself in all directions like an antenna. It picks up on all kinds of different scenarios and eventualities and what ifs. Just make sure that you keep moving forward, because if you're staying stuck, your antenna is gonna go in all different directions, but you're gonna stay the same, and you're gonna feel that it's overthinking. But if you are actually moving forward in life and making new decisions and doing new things and taking action on your ideas, then your antenna is gonna move forward into new directions. So you're gonna feel like you're actually moving forward.
Yeah, would that be the NETE loop? So
maybe that is the NETE loop.
Yeah, that makes sense. I haven't studied too much about loops, but it's a popular thing to talk about. Oh, I just thought of a question and I forgot it. I hate when this happens. It was such a good question. Maybe it wasn't. Give me a second. ENFPs overthinking things. Oh, okay. You made a point earlier about like ENFPs welcoming other people's perspectives. See, that is something that I'm trying to understand, because NE is like often labeled as perspectives and they're looking at all the possible angles of things. So is it that they are closed when other people provide a perspective because they think that they've already looked at all of them with any hero? I've heard that, I think Benjamin said something like that he's under the delusion of his TI hero. And I think, we're all under the delusion of our hero function, that we think we see all of it. And that nobody else can see it like we do. So do you get where I'm going with this?
Yeah, sorry, one moment.
Oh yeah, no problem. Okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay. So, do you remember what I said?
So, take the last sentence.
Okay, because I barely that was a little bit of a rant. I barely remember what I said. Basically, I'm talking about like, why is it that they have such trouble understanding or taking in other people's perspectives when NE likes to see all sides of an argument?
Well, I don't think, I think when ENFPs look at things, I don't think they're looking necessarily from perspectives of what other people are thinking, or so. I think they are looking primarily from their own perspective. So I think most of the time they are looking more from the perspective of my feelings, my needs, and my identity, because it's an NEFI in a sense. So that's what they are protecting, or why they're doing it, and how they're looking for it. So it's not so much when they're looking at the outer world, it's much more NETE. So it's much more objective. It's much more, I had to do that because of this. It's much more mechanistic. If this happens, then I have to do this in return. And then a kind of a retaliation kind of thing where you have to trade blows with people and be a bit more tough and be a bit more business oriented and be a bit more objective.
Okay. Okay, so you wouldn't really look at NE in terms of perspectives then?
Usually, I think NI and FI is much more perspective oriented.
Okay.
In the sense of perspective and seeing another person's point of view from how they see it.
Okay.
I think what the ENFPs can get to is seeing another person's point of view from how I see it, which is more like what understanding another person's thought process or reasoning from what I need them to do and what I need them to feel. And so
okay,
that happens sometimes.
An FI thoroughfare to it. I get it. That makes sense. I'm trying to distinguish because NE and SE are so confused in the community. So how would you differentiate between knowing if you're an ESFP or ENFP?
I think first things first, ESFPs are a lot more sure of themselves and who they are and their identity and what they are about and what their identity, so in the sense that they can show off their identity much more and with more confidence. ENFPs are a lot more socially anxious in the sense of is this me? Am I being myself? Is this really what I'm supposed to do with my life? Is this should I go somewhere else? Is there something better out there? You know, in a sense that looking for options and alternatives. Extroverted intuition is a lot more anxious and a lot more turbulent, where extroverted sensing is a lot more grounded and certain. Like, this is my lifestyle and what I do and what I always do, and this is what I like to do. So ESFPs have a lot less doubt but regards to their lifestyle, work, career, friendships, and relationships than what ENFPs do. I
see ESFPs exploring quite a bit because they're unsure of what they want. So they have to experience it firsthand to see if it's what they want. Or watch other people do it and see if that's what they want for themselves. But then I think once they experience it or they see it, they know.
Yeah, there's definitely taste testing with SE, which is like, would I like this? Is this cool? Is this nice? Is this funny? Is this trendy? Is this popular? Is this gonna look nice? So yeah, ESFPs are definitely curious. Their SE and NE are all oriented to gathering or information. So ESFPs are not static or stagnant, and I don't want to paint them up as some kind of ICTJ, like this is who I am, so I'm not going to look anywhere else. But they are much more like just confident and assertive about themselves. And even when experimenting with new things and trying new things, they're less likely to have doubts afterwards, like what they did and what it meant for who they are. So, and a lot of times they're going to say it's just fun and play.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Playing with the ideas, sort of. Okay. I hope that you know, that could help some people understand if they're an ESFP or ENFP, because I think it's so hard to distinguish which type of gather you're actually doing.
Yeah.
Because both are
I
out
mean,
there gathering
yeah,
for the
I
service of
think,
FI.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think people should go too much into what kind of things are shallow and what kind of things are like intelligent or mentally
Yeah.
stimulating or intellectually rewarding, because um, that often leads to stereotyping, mistyping. Uh,
Yeah.
it's much better to look at why are they doing it, and what is their approach while doing it. And with an ENFP, it's a lot more like, in a sense, what if could this be the case, what but what if I missed something, what if this is not the case, what if there's something different there, what if I don't like this, and what if this is not who I am. With an ESFP, it's much more, oh, that sounds fun, and oh, that would be really interesting to try, and oh, that could be great, and oh, I would like to try that as well. So they can get to the exact same things, just ESFPs do so with a lot more assertiveness and
Yeah,
confidence.
yeah. I see exactly what you mean now. Okay. It's like you could look at the boldness with which they go about their endeavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can say tendentially that ESFPs
Yeah.
are more gonna like this or those areas, but that's
Mm,
tendencies more than thumb rules.
yeah, that's a really tough one, especially in this community, because everybody in this community, of course, is interested in like different ideas. So that will automatically lead them toward, oh, I must be an N because I'm interested in this instead of like real world things like sports or something. And yeah, it's a major issue. Um, anyway, let's wrap up with like one more question and bring it back to like the dating scene, because that's what I do. Um, do you have any good ideas for like dates to take an ENFP on? What type of activities they would like, or types of things you could talk to them about?
I think when it comes to dating an ENFP, I think ENFPs are often going to decide on the dates for you, in a sense. They're often going to be like the ones to say, ah, that's what I want to do, this is what I want to go, or so on. Of course, they want to be open to discussing with you, but they're usually going to be the one that has the most initiative in that sense of, oh, we should go there, we should try that, or we should experience this, because they enjoy reading articles about what people are doing and what they could do and where they could go and fun activities. So they're constantly like really interested in that. But
Okay.
in practical terms, what I noticed is they like the more laid back kind of city tripping style dating, like where it's more like going to not necessarily a capital city, but just traveling somewhere together, or going to try out something new at a new restaurant or place that you haven't been to before, or
Okay.
reading up on something on Instagram and going to check it out and see what it is about and if it's nice or not. That's sometimes a bit alternative or new or trendy that hasn't been done before. If it's new and original, then it's much more appealing to an ENFP.
Okay. That sounds like a good plan for EPs, just in
Yeah,
general. Yeah. New
yeah,
stuff. New.
yes,
Yeah. Something to explore.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks so much, Eric. Thank you for doing these videos with me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, and looking forward to seeing them online.
Yeah, yeah. You guys can check out also Erik Thor's channel, which I will link in the description. All right. Thanks, Eric.
Thanks.
Bye.